Hello, and welcome again to MPA 594, Week 2. Our assignment this week was to identify two different theories that we've studied throughout our public administration careers and identify one that is both relevant and helpful in today's world, and one that is outdated or needs to be amended to come up with the times. The first of which I chose is the unity of command. Henry Fayol was the first to kind of coin the term and kind of come up with the concept. I think this is a very relevant and crucial component in not only public administration as a whole, but also in my profession in particular, in emergency services. Fayol first came up with the concept after he studied both Taylor's scientific method and the concept of a assembly line, because it was originally designed for a private business, like I said, an assembly line. And he came up with 14 different principles that would provide a smooth working machine when you have multiple components operating to achieve a common goal. It's obviously relevant in our government today because everyone needs to have one boss. That's the concept of unity of command. If you have more than one boss telling you what to do, there's obviously going to be conflicts, miscommunication, and ultimately, I'd say almost every industry in the world has adopted this concept in one way or another because it does make the most sense. Everyone has reports to one person. And specifically in emergency services, we use it daily for operations, regardless of the situation that we have to mitigate. And we use it in the form of the incident command system. And there's a breakdown of this structure on the bottom right there, where every group, every person only has one boss who reports up the chain of command to ultimately the incident commander. Without this system, emergency scenes would be completely chaotic and disorganized, and at least we can put a little bit of organization to the chaos with the ICS system using unity of command. Now, the theory that I believe is completely outdated and needs a major revamp is bureaucracy as a whole. And Max Weber first kind of coined the term. I wouldn't say that he invented the concept of bureaucracy. He more or less identified its existence and really put a name to the face of the complicated systems that we've designed government to operate. And the part of bureaucracy that I disagree with and I think really needs to be revamped is the original concept of we're going to create a system that is so convoluted and complicated that the general population doesn't have the time or resources to understand, so they'll basically just go along with it. And that was the point, where you basically would say, well, I don't have the time nor the money for the education to understand all these and actually get fully involved in politics, so I'm just going to have to elect someone that would, in essence, hopefully be a peer who did understand all of it to represent me in that form of government. But I think we've all seen that this system is not very transparent, even though that is the goal of public administration, because if you don't understand the system, you can't just take someone else's word for it. That is not true transparency. So I believe we really need to simplify the system. That way, more Americans, more citizens can understand exactly how their government's working, how people are elected, why certain systems work, or how they work. And obviously, there is a time and a place for systems that are complicated. Checks and balances are what keeps our government honest in a sense, through each branch. But there are plenty of areas that we can improve upon and simplify by maybe consolidating areas or reducing just the political background to making processes work.